So, you're finally doing it. The dream renovation, the big rebuild. It's so exciting, right? But as those plans get locked in, one giant logistical question starts to creep in. You know, it's that one detail that can turn a total dream project into an absolute nightmare.
Okay, let's just get right to it, because this is the real problem, isn't it? Your home, the place you live, is about to become a full-blown construction zone. But it's still packed with, well, your life, all your furniture, your valuables, everything you own. Where is all of that supposed to go?
And listen to this. This is a quote from a real homeowner, and it hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that feeling of being completely and totally stuck. So if you feel this way, believe me, you are not alone. This is the universal headache of renovating, and just trying to work around it. Well, that's not really a plan.
And that brings us to what I call the renovation riddle. You're at a crossroads. You can either choose to live in absolute chaos, dusty, risky, and stressful, or you can find a way to create a calm, protected space for your belongings and, honestly, for your own sanity. So let's break down what that chaos actually feels like.
I mean, just think about it for a second. That fine construction dust, it gets into everything. It can ruin your electronics, your couches, you name it. And with heavy tools and materials constantly being moved around, there's a huge risk of scratches, dents, or worse to your nice furniture. Plus all that clutter, it just slows your contractors down, which means delays and more stress for you.
So you think, okay, I'll just hire some movers to get everything out. But whoa, hold on a minute. That opens up a whole new can of worms, doesn't it? Because you're not just hiring movers. You're inviting complete strangers into your home to handle all of your personal possessions. The stakes here are incredibly high. You absolutely have to know how to spot the danger signs. So watch for these red flags, seriously. If a company won't even come to your house for an estimate, or they demand a huge cash deposit up front, run away. If they can't give you a real license number or a physical address, that's a big problem. And be especially careful of companies that use untrained day labor. That is just a recipe for a disaster.
And look at this. The difference is just night and day. On one side, you have professionals who are accountable. On the other, it's a total gamble. A professional company gives you a written, binding estimate. They're licensed and insured. They take credit cards. A rogue mover, they'll give you a vague quote over the phone and demand cash. The choice you make right here determines the safety of everything you own.
So how do you solve that renovation riddle and avoid all these crazy risks? Well, this is where a professional all-in-one solution becomes the absolute key to a stress-free project. This is how you go from chaos to calm.
Just imagine this for a second. While your home is a noisy, dusty construction site, all of your possessions are right here, safe and sound. This isn't just some storage unit, it's a secure, climate-controlled warehouse. It represents total peace of mind, knowing your things are completely protected, far, far away from all the chaos. And check out how simple the process becomes. The Roadrunner team comes in and professionally packs everything for you. Then they move it all to their secure storage. Now this next part is crucial. They coordinate directly with your construction timeline so there are no headaches. And once the dust is settled and the paint is dry, they bring it all back. You literally don't have to lift a finger.
And that's exactly why you need to think of a company like Roadrunner as more than just movers. They're really your renovation logistics partner. They're an expert team that gets the unique challenges that come with a home remodel or a rebuild.
You know, it really all comes down to the people and the process. We are talking about full-time, professionally trained crews, not just some temporary help. They use special techniques, like the custom crating you see here, for really delicate things like art or antiques, to make sure every single item gets expert care.
And their care doesn't stop with your belongings, it extends to your home itself. Before a single box even gets moved, they put down extensive property protection. We're talking floor runners, corner guards, carpet films. They take every single precaution to make sure the move out and the move back in leave your home, both the old parts and the new parts, completely untouched.
So you might be wondering, okay, that's great, but what about my grand piano, or that giant antique armoire, or even our hot tub? Yep, they've got you covered. They have the specialized equipment and, more importantly, the technical know-how to handle those really tough items safely. That's a level of expertise you just don't get with your average mover.
Okay, so let's talk about the foundation that this is all built on, the guarantee. And it really comes down to three things: decades of experience, absolute trust, and the peace of mind you get from knowing you are completely protected.
Just look at that number for a second. 1976. That is almost 50 years of experience. A company does not build a flawless track record serving families for that long by accident. That is earned, one move at a time.
And here is the promise. Now, remember all those scary red flags we talked about earlier? Well, this is the exact opposite. They are fully licensed, bonded, and insured. You get a written, binding estimate so there are zero surprises. They offer full value protection for your stuff, and their crews are covered by workers' comp, which protects you from any liability.
So what does all this really mean for you? It means you can take the single biggest stressor of your entire renovation and just hand it over to the experts. You can finally stop worrying about the logistics and actually focus on the fun, creative, exciting part of watching your new home come to life.
So if you want a renovation experience that's about calm, not chaos, the next step is really simple. Just reach out to Roadrunner Moving and Storage. A free, no-obligation consultation is all it takes to see how they can turn your renovation logistics from a massive headache into a completely hands-off, seamless process.